Welcome to the second of two crown jewels of the ARCSOA schedule, the Indianapolis 250. The major news item has been the rather vicious nature of some of the accidents we've seen this weekend. The first was in knockout qualifying where Bill Braddock Jr. in the 10 car, who would have qualified for the race provided that he hadn't have wrecked and had to withdraw his car, took a very violent lick to the inside, or to the pit wall at 170 miles an hour after being spun off of turn 4. Braddock hit that wall and just spun around like a top-down pit road, ricocheting in between the two pit walls, the inside and the outside pit wall. Braddock would have serious but non-life-threatening injuries when he was taken to a medical center. Thankfully, he will be alright. The second incident took place was a 5-car incident in Q2, where Grayson Ace Vito and Noah Hart made contact, sending Ace Vito around exiting turn 1 and in the short chute between 1 and 2, and that caused Hart to slide back up the track to be clobbered in the rear end by Sean Angel. Angel took a very violent hit there, slid up the track, came back down after hitting the turn 2 wall, gets clobbered by Ethan Moore, and then subsequently Kenny Myatt would hit Ethan Moore. Sean Angel was taken to Methodist Medical Center nearby. I think that's the medical center near here. And with concussion-like symptoms, and he is not going to be allowed to race. Scott Roush will be starting in 42nd with his car, even though it happened in Q2. Myatt, Moore, and Noah Hart will all be starting down in the lower positions in Q, what would have been Q number 2, because they made it through Q1. So there's a lot of concern with the vicious nature of the wrecks. Let's go to your starting grid. Starting from last on the grid, we have Scott Roush in the 81 car. That car is a backup car that has not been tested at all because Scott Roush wasn't here, and Scott Roush also hasn't been in the series in a couple of weeks, or in a couple months, actually. So Roush, of course, but that team did qualify 23rd on the grid with Sean Angel. However, Angel's not here, and that was a driver change. Starting alongside him is Chase Dunbar. Dunbar got bumped in because Bill Braddock Jr. had to pull out of the race because of injury. Dunbar wouldn't have made it, and, well, Dunbar made it because Braddock isn't here. In position number 40, we have Kyle Bisceglia, and a surprising back of the grid qualifying run for Kyle Bisceglia. I expect him to be way, way, way further up the grid than where he's currently placed right now. This should be an interesting run for him because he tends to do well at Indianapolis and has momentum on his side, and those GLMs have been quick. And on his inside, you have Travis Scott, the Texan. Did not impress that well at the New Hampshire race, however. He hasn't been too bad today. Starting in the next row up, in position number 38, we have Felicity Dunbar. Felicity Dunbar will be one to watch in this race, as just going to be a very interesting race for her, the brother or the sister of Chase Dunbar. And on the outside, or on the inside, we have Victor Vadam, the Frenchman, driving a purchased Tax Act Silver Speed car. On the next row up, you have Cody Lamas in car number 48. Kind of surprised to see Lamas on the grid considering what his luck's been recently. And on his outside, or inside, I keep making that mistake, you have Stanton Saber. The only Saber to make this race is his older uncle Tyler, driving for Team Flame, did not make the race. On the outside of the next row up, you have Eric DeMax in the 98 car. Eric was said to be one of the future stars, however, never really got a real chance with a team, and CJ Racing decided to give him a one-off ride. And on his inside, you have William Brock, the Georgia native, going for an Indianapolis win. He always seems to do well on these high-speed ovals. DJ Curtis starting way further back, and we're now starting to get into a bunch of drivers that really should be further up the grid that are really quick. DJ Curtis looking to win the Indianapolis 250 after already winning the American 700 back in a number of years ago. Chris Dodd is going for his Indianapolis 250 victory. He wants it, just like everybody else on the grid, and Dodd will be starting in the 31st position. Starting P30, We have Roman Rahal. This is, of course, an all Reddit Davis row here, the 5 and the 05. That's a Vince Freeze as well. Reddit Davis hasn't been the strongest as they've been all year so far. On the next row up, you have Dornan Bouchard. Bouchard doing his best on the grid right now. Great to see Bouchard on it. He would have been locked in on points. And Zayden Davidson starting right in front of Dornan Bouchard. Right alongside, actually, of Dornan Bouchard. On the next row up, you have Lucas Hoffman, the New Zealand native. This team just got everything together coming a couple weeks ago, actually. Kind of a surprise entry and definitely a surprise qualifier. We did not expect to see Aussie V8 Supercars driver, or Aussie Supercars driver, Lucas Hoffman. Even though he's from New Zealand, he races in the Aussie Touring Car Series. And great to see Hoffman on the grid. And alongside of him, you have the second highest starting Reddit Davis car of Eric Monaco on the grid. Alex Allen was the last car to get bumped out in queue number 1 in the 51 car, and alongside of him, you have Noah Hart in the 18 car. He has been always very, very strong here at Indianapolis. I wouldn't be surprised if he does his best today here, and possibly could be a winning threat. On the next row up, you have Ethan Moore. Ethan Moore, along with Noah Hart and Kenny Mide, who you're going to see in a little bit. On the inside, we're all involved in that 5-car incident with Grayson Acevedo and Sean Angel. Ethan Moore and Kenny Mide and Noah Hart all took some pretty vicious hits, but walked away and were cleared to race. And like I said, the aforementioned Buckeye Bullet, Kenny Myatt, will be starting in the 20th position. No, I'm sorry, that would be the 21st position because Sean Angel would have started behind him. So 21st to Kenny Myatt in the Interstate Batteries Toyota. Benjamin Dover will be starting in the 20th position for the Exide Batteries Team Flame team. Of course, his teammate Tyler Faber did not qualify for the race, got bumped out. And on the inside of Benjamin Dover, we have Nick Pericles. He's won this race twice. Can he go for a third? That's going to be a big question to watch. We know Pericles has a fast car and was probably prematurely bumped. On the outside of the next rope, we have Zachary Fitzwater. Pertec Team Australia really brought their A game this week. Both cars are on the grid, and Zachary Fitzwater starting in the 18th position is a nice showing for that team. And Bobby Jones will be starting in the 17th position. Jones has been very quiet, has one victory in Donut City. In the Exbalto Islands, I would expect Bobby to bring his A game today for the Indianapolis 250. Sean Perkins is running for the part-time championship. He has already made his last American 700, and this will be his last Indianapolis 250. Perkins has been strong here in the past. He does really well on these higher speed ovals. He'll be making his first road course starts in a long time at the rounds of Ohio at the Catawba Central International Raceway and in Amaria to fight out for the part-time championship. If he'll be attempting those, and if he makes the race, he'll be good. Ike Durbin will be starting on his inside, the American 700 champion from last year, Indiana native, one of the fan favorites around here. He got a big roaring applause during driver introductions today, and it will be interesting to see if the Indiana native can bring a victory back home to Indiana. On the outside, starting in position number 14, we have Tristan Wilhoit. These, of course, was the last row to get bumped out in Q2 and did not make Q3. And on his inside, you have Vincent Allen, who is the only part-time car to be locked in via points because he had enough points from his second-place finish at the American 700. Now we're in the top 12 with James Shelley and Johan Art. They both crashed in Q3. It wasn't nearly as violent as some of the wrecks we've seen. However, they were both relegated to the back of the grid. They also had Matty Myatt in there as well. However, Myatt was able to continue and set a lap. These two drivers did not set a lap in their session. Johan Art is in the final Reddit Davis car as well. His American cousin, the German Johan Art, his American cousin John Art, of course there's a lot of German immigration stories there. The Texan native is going to be starting P10. He's trying to turn around his season, and really, he looked like a V championship person to beat early on in the season. However, it's kind of fallen off the bandwagon a little bit. He's looking to maybe make the Indianapolis 250 the place where he can turn his season around. He already won the American 700. Can he go 2 for 2 in the 2 Crown Jewel Oval races of the year? That'll be a big question for him. And Aiden Shepard will be starting alongside of him. Shepard's been very consistent this year, or at least at the start of the year, but hasn't done a lot since halfway point of the season. Eddie Shumpadkar, another driver who's always been very, very fast on these high-speed ovals, will be starting P8, and then alongside of him is Jack Halleck, probably the biggest surprise in the top 12 that made it into Q3. Jack Halleck was on pole with 4 minutes to go in the session. However, he got bumped down to 7th because of a drafting train. Halleck is going to be one to watch today. On the outside in P6 of row 3, outside of row 3, P6 is Madeline Myatt. Nearly won the Indianapolis 250 last year, nearly won the American 700 this year. Maddie Myatt's looking for her second ARCSOA Elite Series victory. And Grayson Acevedo, who's been very strong in knockout qualifying recently, will be starting 5th. Starting P4, you have Moshe Green, another big surprise up on the grid. He's turning his season around quite mightily. And on his inside, you have Christian Vander Pesch in the GLM car starting P3. Good to see Vander Pesch that high. On the outside pole, we have Trek Tauger, most notable for winning 3 in a row early this year. And our pole setter for the 2nd year in a row, Jake Baskinger, the Georgia native, will be leading the field of 42 down to the green here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indy 250. So with that being said, and everybody knows what is on the line for this race, it's equal with the American 700 in prestige around here. It's one of the older races on the season at one of the most historic racetracks in the world. One of those 42 drivers will win the race. Who will it be? Let's find out. Jake Baskinger leads the field of 42 down to the green here at Indianapolis, and away we go! Down into turn number 1, they go for the one of the 2 most prestigious stock car races in the world. Here we go. Of course, the other one is the American 700. This one is a quick dash race compared to that. Only 100 laps around this 2.5-mile rectangular-shaped circuit here in Indiana. Down the backstretch they go. Tauger's going to lose 2nd position, 2. That looks like Christian Vander Pesch. Looks like Vandy's going to go for the lead, possibly. Not going to get it, though. Down through turn 3 and 4. Now, they're in the middle of it, as Baskinger is going to lead the first lap, I believe. I don't think anybody's going to get a run on there. And Vander Pesch goes to the high line. Acevedo gets a good run off the corner. Baskinger will lead lap number 1 here in the Indianapolis 250. As I mentioned in the starting grid video, there's a lot of quick cars in the back, like Kyle Bisceglia, Scott Roush, DJ Curtis, and a couple other guys in the back that are going to have to work their way up the order. You also have some drivers by the names of Kenny Might and Noah Hart here who have not ever won a one-off race before. They will both be incredibly strong here in this race, I believe, provided that everybody behaves themselves. Myatt's already gotten his way up the field quite a bit. Since the start of the race, the biggest loser has been Johan Art. He's all the way back down the order and losing positions left and right. Remember, he started in position number 11, and now he has dropped all the way back to position number 17. And this has not been a good start to the race. That's only in 4 laps. However, now they are all single file. This is what you're going to need. Looks like Noah Hart's going to try and go underneath the 66 of Ethan Moore, as Lucas Hoffman's a little further back. Hoffman's, of course, a New Zealand-based Australian touring car racer. And I'm waiting to see if Lucas Hoffman, and this team was formed 3 weeks ago and yet has made the grid. That is, of course, a very, very old ARCSOA car from a long, long time ago that they're using that one. I think that one's like a 6-year-old car, but somehow it made it. Coming to the end of lap 4, starting lap 5. Grayson Acevedo, with help from Christian Vander Pesch, would get underneath Jake Baskinger and take over the lead of the race. So Grayson Acevedo, a man who's never won an ARCSOA Elite Series race now, is leading the Indianapolis 250, one of the 2 biggest races of his entire life. Madeline Myatt now goes underneath Baskinger for a position, as Baskinger has lost a lot of positions. He's down to 8th position right there. Baskinger is losing spots left and right, and this is where he's got to be incredibly careful with every move he can pull off. This is where things get very, very treacherous here in this part of the race. Look at Tristan Wilhoit also getting his way up the order. He started back in 14th. He's up to 5th in 6 laps. but Grayson Ace Vito continues to lead this race. Noah Hart's is beginning to become a man on a move here as he's working his way up the order. As Kenny Myatt's fallen back a little bit here. Noah Hart has started to really start plugging his way through the order here, and this is where drivers and teams are going to start looking at possibly in the draft start saving some fuel at possibility as well. We're hearing that, oh boy, contact, there's 2 cars in the fence, that's the 08 and the 8. That's Johan Hart and Eddie Champagne both went up, drove each other up into the wall there practically. We're going to have to take a look and see specifically what took place there as the field is trying to get by Johan Hart and Eddie Champagne car. Let's see how Arndt is doing. I think they both kept it off the wall. No, it looks like Arndt maybe got it. Yeah, this one was, I think, caused by Aiden Shepard. Well, no, it looks like Arndt just slid up there, and, well, they both caught the wall there, and that's not good for either of them. Tough break. Trek Tauger now has caught his teammate Grayson Ace Vito for the lead of the race. And he's going to look underneath him entering turn 1. That was a late move there by Tauger, but he's going to take the spot away there. I think he caught Ace Vito a little off guard. There's Johan Arndt's cousin John Arndt, American cousin John Arndt, in 3rd position with Moshe Gurian in 4th. Matty Myatt's getting help from Christian Vander Pesch in 5th and 6th. The Gurian has been fast this week, to be completely honest with you. Gurian could be a serious threat to win this race. Baskinger has also worked his way back up the order a little bit here. He dropped back to 11th at one point, now is up to 7th. Johan Hart would have a tire rub and would have to bring it down pit road to start getting some of the damage repaired and some of his right side tires, so tough break for him. He's going to have to hope for a caution. And I think we've got a caution on track. We do have a caution on track, and actually that was not good for him. That was... Oh, we got a bunch of cars on the straightaway. We got somebody in the pit wall down there. That kind of worries me with William Brock. Uh-oh. And we had a lot more cars further down the track here, also caught up in this accident. I see Padcar, Bishelia, maybe got a little bit of damage there. Vidam, and a bunch of other cars. Hoffman got some damage. Actually, Bishelia's got some rear end damage, I think, from the first incident. We will take a look and see what happened to start this one. It was a big wreck. So I think this one started with last year's Indy 250 winner getting up into... Oh, no, it was a wreck in front of him, actually. That was Jake Baskinger, the pole sitter, and that caused Pericles to get into the wall, and then you got a lot more contact further up trying to avoid. That was going to be a smaller accident than it actually was. And the big hit that we were worried about when we saw a car hit it was William Brock, but lucky for him, he had gotten slow there and actually hit Perkins, and that's what actually helped him out quite massively there. So the two Koenigsegg teammates get into each other as Ike Durbin tried to keep it off of Baskinger there. Baskinger, hard hit into the inside wall. Big hit for Pericles as well. Took out 2 Silver Speed cars of Shelley and Pericles. And then you're just going to see kind of what happens here with Hoffman. We're going to take another look at this one as just the entire track becomes blocked. Scott Roush had a piece of it. DJ Curtis got a big piece of it. I don't think anybody got away with it behind that group, really. I think Dover was the last car through without damage. So this is what happened with Lucas Hoffman, as he's trying to avoid Kenny Myatt and Ethan Moore, who are going slow, and he gets up into, I think that's Eric Monaco there, and just sets off a massive pileup where just no one had a lot of places to go there. And it looks like Dunbar and Lamas actually got through it, so without damage, so good for them. We got a lot of onboards that were involved in this wreck. We're on board with Sean Perkins here, and you're just going to see Perkins' race just go completely crazy there. And then you're going to see coming off the corner, you're just going to see William Brock get forced down into Perkins there. And, Perkins took a pretty interesting hit there. We're on board with William Brock here, and this was a lot bigger accident than we thought we'd see here in this Indy 250. We've gotten away without a big one the last couple of years, I think, and you just see the accident take place, and right there, that should have been it, but then everybody, as they're trying to scramble to avoid, Brock just had not a lot to go there. Luckily for Brock, he only hit the wall at the edge of 40 mile an hour, but still, that was a big hit. We're on board with Zayden Davidson in this, and you're going to kind of see the secondary incident here. As the accident's taking place, you got a bunch of cars scrambling low, and Monaco got into Hoffman, and that's what kind of set that off there as they're trying to avoid. And, that explains a lot there. On board with the former Indy 250 winner Kyle Bishelia here, and you're going to just see his race just capitulate right in front of him here. Like I said, there was the initial wreck, and then everybody, as they're trying to avoid, just starts even a bigger wreck here, and it's not a whole lot anybody can really do, and it kind of really hurt a lot of people in this Indy 250 here, and it's going to be a big factor as this race continues. We're on board with Nick Pericles, and this should be a very wild ride. Pericles would walk away from the incident here, but with some of the incidents we've had this week, I'm kind of glad Pericles did, because that was a pretty violent wreck there as he clobbers the wall there. Our final onboard is with James Shelley here, and you're just going to see just kind of what takes place. Actually, Ike Durbin got away with it here, and, well, there's not a whole lot Shelley could do in that situation, really. Oh, we do have an onboard with Jake Baskinger that we will take a look at. Our final onboard with Jake Baskinger, remember, this happened toward the front of the field, and then a lot of the back markers got taken out in the secondary incident here, and just, it's one incident that we always get worried about here at Indianapolis, and it just, nothing Baskinger could do. As they're coming to take the green, Lucas Hoffman would grenade the motor, and we've got a couple of really slower cars toward the back. Johan Arnt's on the tail end of the lead lap because he didn't get out of the pits before the field caught him. Before the caution came out, Tristan Wilhoit is your leader over Noah Hart, Trek Tauger, Grayson Acevedo, John Arndt, Vanderpesch, Fitzwater, Myatt, Vincent Allen, and a couple other drivers here. As Johan Arndt, despite being a lap down, will lead the field back to the green, or on the tail end, and Johan Arndt gets a good start here. Wilhoit kind of lagged back a little bit here on the start. And away we go, down into turn number 1 again here. We're hoping that we don't see too many incidents in this race, and let's see how many slow cars we got way in the back here. It looks like they're actually not too bad here. I think we might have gotten somewhat lucky here with some of the slower cars in that wreck. There will be some slow ones out there, but I'm thinking that it might not be as bad as I would have thought. Here they go, down into turn number 1 again here, and this one is going to be Wilhoit versus Hart, two of the older dogs in this series here. We know Hart's retiring at the end of the year, and Wilhoit's toyed with the idea of retirement. Not exactly sure if that's going to be the case as Johan Arndt gets re-lapped. Yeah, just kind of a normal kind of a pass there, as here comes Noah Hart right on by as well. So it's going to be a race where it's going to come down to a lot of people, and like I said, there's not Victor Vadam might be a little slow, but there's not a lot of slow cars out there, believe it or not. So I think we got really lucky there, as here comes Trek Tauger underneath Noah Hart here, as Hart slams the door on Tauger. That was a great block there, as Hart's actually got a run here for the lead possibly here, and if he can get some help from Tauger, Hart could be the leader of this race by the next in a couple of corners here, and Wilhoit leaves the door open. Not going to get it though for Hart. But now down the backstretch, Noah Hart will take over, or is looking underneath for the lead here, but Wilhoit's got one strong car there up front. Remember, they got this on pit stop cycles, by the way. I don't think they took tires. They only took fuel, or they took rights at least. So now Acevedo gets by Tauger, though. That's a pretty smart move, though, right there, as to get by Tauger, because we know those Zeos Honda cars are quick here, but Tristan Wilhoit continues to lead this race over Noah Hart. You're seeing Madeline Mayan, the third Zeos, get up the field here, and you kind of just got an idea who the cars that are going to be consistently quick are. I believe we might have had a car that might have some issues right now. And nope, that doesn't seem to be the case right there. Hart now is going for the lead once again on Wilhoit, but Wilhoit's going to get the good arc into the corner, and Wilhoit is proving that he is a really strong car here. Tristan Wilhoit is, but we know that Wilhoit luck can kind of really sacrifice him, and actually sacrificed Noah Hart there, because he's going to lose a couple spots to Acevedo, Vanderpesch, and Madeline Myatt there. That was not a good turn of luck there for Noah Hart as he rockets back down the backstretch. Grayson Acevedo now looks underneath Tristan Wilhoit for the lead of the race. Almost some contact there between the Pertec and Noah Hart. And Acevedo is going to take the lead here, but Madeline Myatt now is going to have a run on Acevedo. So Ace Vito's going to lead the lap, but I don't think he's going to lead for very long because that one car's got one heck of a run here. And Matty Myatt takes over the lead of the Indianapolis 250. And now Vanderpesch goes underneath Ace Vito, and will John Hart join them? Looks like it. Looks like it right there as John Hart now takes over third position with help from Truck Tauger, who's now taking over fourth. Victor Vadam is the car that has lost the pack, and he is, I think, losing a cylinder right there. So, or I'm sorry, that's Felicity Dunbar, not Victor Vadam. Vadam is, I believe, in the pack. I got the two cars confused. My bad completely on that. Felicity Dunbar is the car that lost the pack there. And Dunbar isn't going to be very quick, I think, in this session here, or for a little while here. Actually, Alex Allen's pretty slow. Scott Roush is slow. Hasn't been a great day for the BFM cars so far. However, Chris Dodd is in the lead pack trying to work with Noah Hart here to get up the order. Another driver that hasn't really done a lot is Kenny Myatt. However, look how far Tristan Wilhoit fell back because he's just been stuck on the outside. So, if this comes down to pit stops, I think anyone in this leading group, all the way back to Jack Halleck, the top 20, can theoretically win this race. Look at even Kyle Bisceglia. He has rear end damage, and he's still on speed with each other. So, but at the front of the field, we're starting to see a spread out here, led by Madeline Myatt. Commentators curse on Kyle Bisceglia as he would have to bring it down pit road, and that is a Skype call. Commentators curse on Kyle Bisceglia here as Bisceglia brings it down pit road, and apparently there's some possible oil leak on the back of it. Christian Vanderpesch now is looking for the lead of the race here as, I believe we had another, no we didn't actually. Vanderpesch now is looking underneath Myatt for the lead of the race, and is nearly contact there between Vandy and Myatt. That could have been a very, very big incident there. However, down the backstretch or down the front stretch again here, as it looks like Tauger is trying to make a move on third place. Arndt doesn't get him to work out well for him though. Going through the field here. Actually, Noah Hart's falling a little bit more down the field as Kenny Myatt's car on older tires is starting to really set some quick lap times here. As we go through the order, Myatt has been pretty decently quick today on older rubber. Eddie Champadkar would bring it down pit road on 25 as well for some damage repair there. We're getting a little concerned about some of the dragging bits on that car, so they brought Padcar down pit road as well. So tough break for Padcar. He's a major championship contender. Vanderpesch now has looked underneath Madeline Myatt for the lead of the race and now is going to get it here. And I think Matty Myatt's going to, make contact with Trek Tauger. Tauger was trying to pass her. And it looks like Tauger might, they're all pitting. Bouchard's in. Looks like everybody except a handful of cars are going to bring it down pit road here. This is, of course, scheduled. It looks like Noah Hart also has pitted a little early here, so this will be interesting to see where Hart kind of slots in here as Bouchard leads the race over Bobby Jones, Ike Durbin, and those were the three cars that stayed out an extra lap. Hart's got to get Hart might have had an issue. Hart was slow entering the pits, so I don't think is going to have the best of luck here on the pit stop cycle here. Hart had a slow pit stop here, but if he catches a caution, he might have a shot here. I don't know. Maybe he isn't, because Hart's coming off in turn 4, and actually Hart could be in a good catbird seat here. Now that I'm looking at it, I thought he was in trouble, but now he's going to get a couple of these cars here. Hart could have just played a really good pick card here. I got to see where everybody's going to slot here. The 18 now is down the back straightaway here. Going to slot in behind the 11, but he does gain a couple of spots, so that was a very, very good pit stop here. Actually, he's going to have to take the 11 on the outside because the 11's not up to speed yet. Oh, Gurian nearly gets into him there. However, we have the 3 leaders coming out of the pits, and they're going to lose a lot here, I think, because Vanderpesch is leading this race. And I don't think Bouchard's going to be up to speed anywhere near in time. Likewise, I don't think Bobby Jones or Ike Durbin will be either. As they're all trying to get up to speed. Is Vanderpesch right there. Oh no, Bouchard actually might have just stolen the lead. My apologies, and especially with Felicity Dunbar in between them. So Bouchard had a really quick pit stop, and now Bouchard's the leader. My bad. There was a big gain here by Vincent Allen and John Arndt through the field as well. And here they all go down the back straightaway. Noah Hart has lost a couple of spots since his pit stop strategy there. But he is now working with Will Hoyt. Remember, they're on a pretty good strategy there. Kenny Myatt had a slow stop as well, as did Chris Dodd. So we go to the order. Fitzwater, he was up, I think, on the top 10 and lost a lot of time as well. But the big gainer, like I said, was Vincent Allen. Or I might have said was Vincent Allen. Allen now is in the leading group here. Felicity Dunbar has held up a couple of cars, or has held up a nice train of cars here, as they're all seemingly getting by her, though. She has been a good back marker, and she's really the only one that we've had to worry about so far in this race, which Indianapolis tends to be determined by back markers. It looks like Dodd might have some issues with her, though, as, Kenny Myatt kind of slid up there. Didn't mean to do that, I don't think, and Dodd's going to have to slot in behind the 6 to get by Dunbar here. And, nice, easy move there. However, this pack's got a lot of work to do to start catching up to the leading group here. Of course, the top 5 are all together here, as now Madeline Myatt and Vincent Allen, because Vanderpesch dropped to the back of the group, have now caught Dorn and Bouchard. Madeline Myatt and that whole lead group would start spreading out a little bit here, and now Myatt's been looking to try and get by Bouchard here. This is a pretty interesting battle here, because we're not used to seeing Dorn and Bouchard. Well, Bouchard's been consistent, but not like this. Not this fast recently, so I'm watching Dorn and Bouchard here as a possible threat for a victory here. The leaders are coming up to some slower cars. Travis Scott, Alex Allen, and Scott Roush here, as they're all flying up at a high rate of speed. Or as Bouchard and Myatt are, at least. And this is where things are going to get pretty interesting for Bouchard to try and get by. Looks like Bouchard does a great job here with Roush. That was a good move by Bouchard to get by Roush. Slide up, use the draft, and it also helps you defend the position. However, these two are going side-by-side battling for positions, so I don't think you're going to have that much of a luxury with Alex Allen, because he's battling Travis Scott. And now, well, it looks like actually Bouchard's going to make that move pretty easy there. So Dorn and Bouchard continues to lead this Indianapolis 250 here, as Madeline Myatt kind of slots to the field, as well as looks like Vincent Allen's having a lot more trouble getting by Travis Scott and the 19 and the 51 of his uncle there. So actually, Scott Roush has been a really good back marker, so I'm very, very impressed with Scott Roush, because when he was racing last time, he wasn't exactly the best of the back markers. Oh, contact there, I think, between the 83 and the 44, or it was almost contact. That could have been bad. Battle for the lead between Madeline Myatt and Bouchard. Myatt waited a while and realized that she had to get by Bouchard, and now Maddie Myatt is going to take over the lead of this here race. What a showdown by some of these people. And now you have new leader, car number 1. And down the front straightaway now you've got Vanderpesch looking to possibly get by John Arndt here, as they both got by Vincent Allen. Tristan Wilhoit would be the next car to pit here. Would be the first car on the next cycle to pit here, as also you got Eddie Shimpadkar on pit road as well. I'm interested to see what some of these cars are going to do on pit strategy, because we've seen that it all comes down to pit road speed here at Indianapolis. Is Bouchard going to try? Bouchard's going for the lead again. Vincent Allen in the back's going to pit, it looks like. So Vincent Allen in the 44 car. Oh, crash! Myatt's in it! The 73's in it. Oh, this one's a big one here. And Vincent Allen's also in it. Noah Hart was trying to get to pit road and has to stop. And that's going to royally, royally screw the most unlucky driver, I think, in ARCSOA history, Tristan Wilhoit. And I did not like this incident here. Myatt took a very, very hard hit into the end of the pit wall there. Gurian was also at a very bad hit. We were unsure of the medical condition of Kenny Myatt, or there was a couple of really hard hits in that wreck that I was not liking there. Oh boy. Yeah, Myatt slid up into Gurian here, and Ooh, that was a bad hit there. Luckily, it was on the passenger side, but that was a vicious hit there by car number 9. I didn't like what I saw there. And this is another kind of view. It's the same camera angle, but it's going back here. We're going to slow it down a little bit here. As you can see, there were a couple of cars pitting, and Maya just slid up there, and ooh, that was a bad hit there for the 9 car. Like I said, they're going 200, and we're going to look at this again at high speed. You can't avoid an incident like that here at Indianapolis, and Kenny Myatt was talking with medical officials there, but he was in a lot of pain leaving the race, and when he was taking an ambulance to a medical center there. I think Gurian was as well. Gurian and Myatt went in 2 separate ambulances to the local medical center here, both of which took very, very big hits. Here it is again. Here's the Gurian angle. 214 miles an hour right into the back of Travis Scott. Gurian, I apologize, was not communicating with medical officials there, leaving. He was not communicating, and he was believed to be unconscious leaving the medical center. So there's a lot of concern behind Moshe Gurian there. We're on board with Noah Hart here, and you're just going to see his teammate and Moshe Gurian take some of the hardest hits I've ever seen in ARCSOA. And very smart here that Hart stops right here and waits for them. We're on board with Kenny Myatt. I'm not sure how long this camera is going to last here. And well, I'm shocked the camera made it through that one, but that was a big, big hit. And because of avoiding an accident, Noah Hart's now at the tail end of the lead lap. After a very lengthy red flag period here. We're unsure of the medical conditions of either Kenny Myatt or Moshe Gurian, but we do hope they will be all right after that very, very violent accident here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Like I said, Noah Hart kind of got screwed over there because he made it to pit road and the caution came out. I kind of feel bad for Hart there. Hart being on the tail end of the lead lap would lead the field back to the green here. Will Hoyt's a lap down, and Vincent Allen's a lap down as well. A couple of really quick cars a lap down. However, they seem to be getting all their laps back here, as are Pad Car and Bisceglia, as it seems like Dornan Bouchard's going to let a couple of these cars behave a little bit here and maybe get a little lucky here. Doesn't look like John Arndt, though, is. Arndt's going to want these cars a lap down, and he's going to try and take over the lead by doing it. Arndt goes for the lead and is going to get it there. As we're approaching the halfway mark, John Arndt leads this race here, as it looks like the 35 is going to hold up Arndt there. And I think Ike Durbin might be a lap down. No, Ike Durbin's on the lead lap. He's up to third right there, as the field's kind of being held up by Alex Allen there, a little further back there. Very, very... we're wondering how this race is going to turn out after that violent incident, because we do not know any medical condition on Moshe Gurian. I mean, 210 mile an hour into the back of Travis Scott. That isn't an incident that I would want to be in. And likewise, Kenny Myatt took that infamous pit road hit there. Myatt at least was communicating, but we're not sure of otherwise, as John Arndt now leads at the halfway mark of this race here, as you're just going to start seeing a bunch of cars here. Oh boy, that was a close call between the 18 and the 8, as the 8 goes a lap down. But now you've got Ike Durbin now, the Indiana native, coming up to try and take over the lead of the race from John Arndt here. And I'm going to see what's Arndt going to do here with Hart, because Hart's going to want to stay on this lead lap, and Hart and Vincent Allen are quick, to say the least here. But looks like Arndt tried to lap them both, but remember, they have the right to try and stay on the lead lap. They do have the right, so this is actually going to really hurt John Arndt here, as Ike Durbin's going to get underneath him and take over the lead of the Indy 250 and get underneath Hart at the same time. No, maybe not. Hart might get the run off the corner there, but Hart's got to hope for a caution. However, not long into the run, there would be a yellow for debris, and it looks like Vincent Allen's going to get lapped here. Will Noah Hart be able to hold off Ike Durbin through the corner here? I don't think he's going to. They're coming back here, and I think Durbin's going to get the track position. It looks like Wilhoit's going to get lucky. Oh, maybe Durbin might have just let Noah Hart get his lap back. Yes, he did. That was very sporting of Ike Durbin to let Noah Hart get his lap back. And Noah Hart and Tristan Wilhoit will get their lap back, but Vincent Allen, one of the fastest cars on the track, didn't. So there was a yellow here for debris on the backstretch. Or actually, no, it was debris on the front stretch because of they were trying to clean up some more. Apparently, they didn't get all the debris from the incident with Myatt and Gurian. And Vincent Allen's going to be kicking himself there. But Tristan Wilhoit's bad luck might have gotten a heck of a lot better here, as him and Noah Hart will get their laps back. Or will get their lap back, or at least be at the back of the grid for the restart. Maddie Myatt would lead the field back to the green here as she beat Ike Durbin out of the pits. And the one car, and keep in mind her father's in the hospital right now with a pretty big hit here, is now in the lead of this race here. And it doesn't look like anybody else got a great start there, as they're going to have to start weaving and bobbing through traffic. You've got Ike Durbin versus Vanderpesch on the backstretch here for second. Vanderpesch takes over the spot. However, there's still some lap cars between Maddie Myatt and Vanderpesch in second, as Johan Arndt's helping John Arndt get through the field. There's Fitzwater. I'm sorry, I thought that was Halleck for a second. Fitzwater's now going to slot into a pretty good spot here. Fitzwater and the Pertec team have been fast this weekend. There's Bouchard, who led a good bit of the race during the middle of it. Oh, crash in front! Oh boy, that's the leaders, I think, or that was Ike Durbin in it. And that's going to be another yellow. And Ike Durbin, the third place man, is in it. Yeah, this one was started when the 35 lost a lot of momentum in the corner, and the 44 got into him, and the 62 had nowhere to go. Two lap cars battling for position, and well, Ike Durbin's he just had a lot of bad luck there. We're going to go on board with the fan favorite Indiana driver, and the crowd had a noticeable sigh when Ike Durbin was caught in this wreck. Of course, a lot of fans cheering for Ike Durbin in this race. And, well, not a whole lot you can do in that situation. However, this was a pretty scary accident as Vanderpesch gets into Myatt coming off the yellow, and around goes Vanderpesch and into the fence, so the leaders were involved in a wreck as well. This was after the yellow. And Myatt had just beaten Vanderpesch to the line here, and Vanderpesch comes up thinking he's the leader. Myatt's trying to get in front and just wrecks the two fastest cars on the grid. So the 1 has a lot of right side damage, and the 17 is out. So in one caution, the top 3 cars all went out in two separate, or not out. We were thinking the 1's going to be able to continue. But the top 3 cars all were involved in two separate accidents under one yellow. That one was on Vanderpesch. Myatt had nowhere to go on that one. Yeah, he just comes up and thinks he's clear and flips over. Not a whole lot of anything Maddie Myatt could do. Then on pit road, there would be, of course, the Indianapolis pit road's one of the most difficult ones in the series to handle, as Victor Vadam's trying to pit. Eric Demax slams into him, and that's going to be Eric Demax out of the race. It's a tough break for Eric. Through all the chaos and calamity, John Arndt and Dornan Bouchard would come out 1-2, with Bobby Jones in 3rd, Zachary Fitzwater 4th, Dodd 5th, Chase Dunbar 6th, Ace Vito 7th, Shepard 8th, Curtis 9th, Lamas 10th, Tauger 11th, 12th is Ethan Moore, 13th is Jack Halleck, 14th is Monaco, 15th is probably the damaged 1 car. I'm not sure how much damage the 1's got. 16th is Stan Thaver, 17th is Noah Hart, 18th is Tristan Wilhoit, 19th is Victor Vadam in a really beat-up car after after Eric Demax slammed into him. 20th is Freeze, 21st is Shelley, and 22nd is Dover, and here come the lapped cars out of the pits as well. So, Ike Durbin is still out there, however, he is actually on the lead lap, I believe. Still. Can John Arndt be the first person to ever do the double? I don't believe any driver has ever won the American 700 and Indianapolis 250 in one season. John Arndt's currently in the lead, past halfway. Arndt's been strong today. Can John Arndt be the first person to do it? Green flag is back out, and away we go. We're going to see how his German cousin, I don't believe they know each other that well, are going to play with him. It looks like he's going to let Johan's going to let John go. And right there, that's going to put Bobby Jones is going through some of the lap cars as well. Looks like Padcar and Allen are holding up some people with Felicity Dunbar. So it looks like Fitzwater, there's a big gap back between Jones and Fitzwater here. And Fitzy's got to start getting aggressive to get by some of these lap cars. And if not, we could see a Pertec Team Australia in victory lane today if they're not careful, as Bobby Jones now is stuck behind Johan Arndt, as Bouchard's now trying to take on John Arndt. Props to Chase Dunbar for running P10, or running in the top 10. Dunbar doesn't have the fastest car in the world here, and Chase Dunbar is still running in the top 10. This could be a career day for Chase Dunbar. I don't believe he's gotten any points yet this season. I'm not sure, though. He might have gotten some points, but he's been just down the order the whole year, and now in the Indy 250, he is really strong at this stage. As looks like Tauger and Halleck are being held up a little further back. Tauger, Halleck, and Lamas are by Alex Allen, who hasn't been the best of back markers today. Further up the field, though, you've got Dornan Bouchard now going underneath John Arndt for the lead of the race. Not going to get it there, but Bobby Jones might try and take second away in the process. Still not going to get it, as here comes Fitzwater and Dodd up the order now to try and draft with them. So, Fitzwater, Dodd, and maybe Ace Vito can maybe join in that as well. I don't know about that, but... Oh, here comes Bouchard down the backstretch. Now, looking for something, not going to get it there. Oh, man, now he's looking, and Arndt's going to lose the lead here. John Arndt loses P1, and might lose second as well here to Bobby Jones if he's not. Oh, nope. Jones is going to be friendly and let him in. A lot of fast cars are being held up by lapped cars. Maddie Myatt's back here, which we're not sure how quick she's really been yet. Noah Hart's back here. James Shelley, who he was involved in a pretty big wreck earlier, and yet that car looks virtually spotless. I'm shocked at that. And right now you got Tristan Wilhoit also kind of marred in traffic here. It's kind of the negatives of starting this far back, but they're all being held up by, predictably, Alex Allen. And I'm waiting to see if Allen's going to do something silly or not. Ethan Moore now is trying to get underneath Alex Allen, who Ethan Moore doing something silly is kind of a given, knowing our previous experience with Ethan Moore. However, they're having a lot of trouble getting by the slowing off the pace Alex Allen, and I am beginning to think that ARCSOA ought to start getting involved with Alex Allen here. He's been a moving chicane all year at times. He's either really quick or a moving chicane, Alex Allen's been. And now finally, yeah, ARCSOA told him to get the hell out of the way. Or get the heck out of the way, I'm sorry. And, oh, that was close between the 62 and the 51. And, he told him to get the heck out of the way. And, Alex Allen's taken over and now finally gotten that message. Chris Dodd now is slotted into second position, as now Ace Vito is caught up here into this group as well. Looks like Fitzwater's the weak link in the group, I think, here. He wasn't second, though, for a while, but got caught on the outside. Dodd now is going to try and chase down Bouchard for the lead of this race, and we've only got 30 to go. This could come down to a very aggressive showdown here, as now Ace Vito's going on Bobby for the position there, as, oh, Bouchard slid high there in the middle of the corner. Looks like Dodd's going to look underneath him. Not going to get him there, but watch Dodd down the straightaway. He's got the speed to possibly take over the lead of the Indianapolis 250. However, it wouldn't be long before Ace Vito would try and take over second and try and get the lead in one swoop. Ace Vito really caught Dodd off guard. Now Ace Vito's going on Bouchard. So Ace Vito has one amazing car right now at this moment. I'm watching the 11 car to get through this field possibly. Oh, Bouchard there. Slid up wide again. You go through the order, there's DJ Curtis. Looking to see where Dunbar fell back to 11th as Halleck gets into the top 10. We go through the order. Finally, it seems like a lot of cars have gotten by. The slow lap cars, all the fast-paced cars have, at least. However, they're going to need another caution, I think, to be any shot at winning this race. And it's going to need to come within the last 10 laps, really, to prevent there being lapped car traffic. However, with the way that these leaders have been racing, with the blocking and the aggressive racing, it wouldn't surprise me if there would be a yellow. As, ooh, looks like Arndt tried to make a move there, but made it a little premature, so Jones kind of got wind of it and blocked it pretty well. The 3 car now is going underneath the 88. And now Arndt, oh, contact there between Johan Arndt and the 59 of Fitzwater. Fitzwater was thinking that Johan Arndt was holding him up, so he just essentially manhandled him out of the way. There in the middle of the field there, as I thought I heard some contact, but probably not. And on the straightaway now, Grayson Ace Vito continues to lead. It's time for pit stops once again here, and the 41 car will lead them onto pit road here as Ace Vito continues to lead this race, but he's all by himself, and John Arndt and Bouchard have a drafting help here. The last thing they want to see, though, is a caution. Anybody on pit road, they do not want to see a yellow flag here. Actually, DJ Curtis is going to close in quite massively as well here as Ace Vito's bringing it in, Arndt's bringing it in, everybody else should be bringing it in. Tauger, Halleck, Maddie Myatt, of course, is trying her best to get up the order as fast as possible. And we're going to see who will be the beneficiary under the caution, or not under the caution, under pit stops. Fitzwater and Jones will be drafting with each other, but Chris Dodd is all by himself. He had a really quick pit stop, but that almost might hurt him because he doesn't have a lot of drafting help here. There's Ace Vito coming out of the pits now. And I'm looking to see where the 41's going to be. They are going to need to pit one more time. 41 should get him here, though, I think. I think the way the pit stop strategy is going to work, the 41 should be able to get Ace Vito here, if I'm not mistaken. No, maybe not. Ace Vito's actually got some speed coming off the corner there. And Ace Vito is actually going to take over the lead. And I think actually Arndt and Bouchard are going to get him, or at least Arndt's going to get Dodd. So that Ace Vito's got a pretty substantial lead here at this rate. Oh, Kyle Bisceglia blown up. It's been a miserable day for the Ohioan, the former Mosport winner. And now Bisceglia is done. Tough break for Kyle Bisceglia. And now second and back are now working in a pack together to maybe catch Grayson Ace Vito. And Ace Vito's going to have to deal with Victor Vidam. Ace Vito's going to want to get by Vidam easily here. Doesn't look like Vidam's going to play along, though. And Vidam is definitely holding up car number 11 for an entire backstretch and turn 3. So Ace Vito's giant lead is capitulating right before his eyes. And finally he gets by, but how will the pack get by Vidam as well? Looks like they get to him before the corner, which they don't. Vidam's going to hold all of them up. Not nearly as bad as Ace Vito, though, but Vidam is incredibly slow, about 10 mile an hour off the pace there. But the rest of the lead pack, with the exception of DJ Curtis, kind of struggling with him there, are going to get by Victor Vidam. Vincent Allen will be the next car to deal with, and Ace Vito, as of late, has not been that great getting by lapped cars here. He is the leader of this race here. And like I said, there is one more pit stop that will be expected here. It's all going to come down to that pit stop or if there's a caution. And now Ace Vito is going to get held up by Vincent Allen. And it looks like Bouchard's going to take over second from Arndt here. Vincent Allen, I don't get it. Get out of the way, Vincent. You've got 2 strikes. You don't want a third one or else you're not coming next week in Lime Rock. Well, he did stay high there. That's a... I mean, the way he's been driving, that is questionable of a strike. I haven't liked the way Vincent Allen's been behaving as a lapped car. However, if it's a strike, then he won't be starting Lime Rock. If it isn't, then he gets another chance. Ace Vito now will have to deal with Felicity Dunbar, as Bobby Jones now is the second place man. He gets by quite easily. Everybody else is struggling with Felicity Dunbar. And now they're all on the backstretch now, as it's Jones versus Ace Vito on the backstretch as Fitzwater gets by, but no one else can get by the Great Wall of Dunbar. This time it's his sister that's being the issue, and being a quite nuisance-based one at that. Down the front stretch now, everybody else seems to be doing a good job getting by, and I think this pack might be able to reconvene, provided that Bouchard and Arndt get by, and they have. So, it's now the 11 versus the 3 for the win, with possibly the 59 and the rest of the pack closing. There are a couple more lap cars in the sights of the leaders. That is Scott Roush and Vincent Allen here. And Ace Vito, and now DJ Curtis is slotted into third here. Curtis has won an American 700 before, but Ace Vito almost looks untouchable at the front of the field, and it's all going to come down to if they catch the lap cars before they pit, or if they don't. Is anybody on pit road recently? Because they're going to be getting close to pit stops here soon, and you're not going to make it on 23 laps on fuel. I'm sorry, 22 laps on fuel. Here, Indianapolis is known to suck fuel because they run the smaller fuel cells because the track's so fast. And down the front stretch now, Curtis is looking for on Jones for second here. I don't think he's going to get it, though. And Ace Vito is seemingly the fastest car on the track right now and is almost untouchable here, as here they come up to Roush and Vincent Allen. And here we go again with the lapped cars. How will Ace Vito deal with them? Not well, it looks like. I don't think any of them dealt with them well, though. Jones is looking on Ace Vito. Not going to get the move done, though, but he looked. I'm wondering if they're all going to start pitting here. And now they're going to have to deal with Roush and Vincent Allen here. I think they all might be looking at pitting soon here as well. Jones, I don't know what Jones is doing. He's going into the middle line, maybe or the high line, maybe to work with Vincent Allen. That's a bad move. And he recorrects that move there. And now it's going to look underneath Ace Vito again here, as but Ace Vito slots in between Jones and Roush and will hold the lead through this lapped group. So Ace Vito gets lucky there. He made an initial bad move. And it looks like Dodd and Curtis are going to be the big losers in all this. And I'm thinking they might want to pit, as here comes Dodd. Dodd's going to pit, and a couple others are. Jones is coming in. Ace Vito's going to stay out again. We saw this work out well for Ace Vito last time. Will it work out again this time? Jones is going for second. Or, I'm sorry, Bouchard's going for second on Arndt here. But Ace Vito leads. The leading four have pitted the next lap in. And that's going to be where things are going to get pretty interesting. As, it looks like Bouchard had a really tight pit road entrance because of Vidam. The first car off pit road was Bobby Jones, but he has virtually no help with him either. And the 11 has just got to nail his pit stop, and I think the 11 will win the race. Here comes Bobby Jones on the backstretch. Ace Vito is in front of him. There is a speed difference between the two. Ace Vito's going 200. Bobby Jones is going 222. Jones is looking on the outside of Ace Vito and is going to take over the lead of the Indy 250 with only coming to 6 laps to go. And I think it's only going to be between these two, unless if Bouchard and Fitzwater can get going. It's going to be a 2-car battle, unless if it comes down to a 2-lap dash, of course. And this race is heating up. You've got 2v2v2 here. Which tandem will be the fastest? And it looks like Bouchard is trying everything in his book to get Fitzwater up there. However, Ace Vito and Jones, I think, are going to be the cars to beat in this race right now. Jones had a faster stop than Ace Vito and got off the pits better. So here they go. With only 4 to go this time, Bobby Jones is your leader of the Indy 250. Grayson Ace Vito has been the dominant car in the later stages of this race. Will Ace Vito be able to pull this off? Ace Vito's making a move for the lead, but not going to set it up there. He hits a big wall of air and has to dive back behind Jones here. They're got to be worried because if they start battling, Bouchard and Fitzwater are going to catch them. Ace Vito's looking low again, but not going to set it up there. And I think down into 1, Ace Vito might get him. You've got 4 to go now. Ace Vito's making a late dive here on Jones. That was a great move. And Ace Vito's taken over the lead of the race. What a showdown now. But has that opened up the door for Bouchard and Fitzwater to work with Jones? There's a lot of air between, a lot of track between Ace Vito and Jones here, and that's not good at this stage, because that means Jones will probably close in. Bouchard, I think, is going to catch here, and it's going to come down to another classic Indy race, and they're going to have lap cars to deal with. Victor Vadam is going to be a factor with 3 laps to go. I think Freeze is going to be good. But Victor Vadam, who has been slow, the slowest car on the track, is going to be the factor. And Ace Vito recently has not done well with lapped cars. 2.5 to go now. Ace Vito leads this race, and he's been hard to pass this entire race. I don't think Fitzwater's got the car to do it right now. He's going to have to hope that they catch Vadam and everybody gets held up, which is a possibility. With only 2 to go, though, desperation will start kicking in. Desperation will start kicking in for these cars to get by Victor Vadam here. And we've seen the Indianapolis 250 end in tears for some in the past. Here they go, down turn 2, and they have now caught Victor Vadam. Ace Vito makes the wrong move, I believe. Maybe. He's slotting behind. Vadam is going to maybe look high. No! Ace Vito slides up behind him. And now, you got a race with a lap to go. Ace Vito makes a move trying to get underneath Vadam. Now Jones has got to follow. Jones has to follow with the white flag in the air. Ace Vito finally seemingly made a quick move here, but he's sliding up the track. You've got 4 cars within lockstep of each other. On the backstretch, Ace Vito sliding high again. This is all down to it now. 2 more corners to go. Will it be Ace Vito, Jones, or Bouchard here? Or will they somehow all wreck each other and Fitzwater take it? I don't know, though. Ace Vito's got a higher line there. It's going to come down to the final corner. This year, Jones looks underneath him, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Ace Vito chopped off the air, and Grayson Ace Vito comes on at the final corner. He is going to win the Indianapolis 250. Grayson Ace Vito has done it. He's won one of the biggest races of the year, and his first ARCSOA Elite Series race. Grayson Ace Vito has done it. Second's going to be Bobby Jones, 3rd Bouchard, 4th is Fitzwater, and then the 5th place car was John Hart over Chris Dodd and DJ Curtis. It's been a wild one with a couple of possibly major injuries. We do hope Gurian and Myatt will be all right. Let's go down to your finishing results. So Grayson Ace Vito has won the race. Bobby Jones 2nd, Dornan Bouchard 3rd, Zachary Fitzwater 4th, John Hart 5th. 6th is going to go to Chris Dodd. 7th goes to DJ Curtis. 8th to Trek Tauger. 9th to Aiden Shepard. 10th to Jack Halleck. 11th to Ethan Moore. 12th to Noah Hart. 13th to Tristan Wilhoit. 14th to Chase Dunbar. 15th to James Shelley. 16th to Monaco. 17th to Cody Lamas. 18th to Dover. 19th to Madeline Myatt. 20th to Ike Durbin. Of course, only the top 15 get points. So Monaco, Lamas, Dover, Myatt, Durbin, Thaber, Freeze, the last car on the lead lap, will not get points. Johan Art's a lap down. Pad Car's a lap down. Vadam, Allen, Roush, Dunbar, Alex Allen, all we're all 2 laps down also. Kyle Bisceglia blew the gearbox out of it. Christian Vanderpesch got in an accident. As we go through the order, we're so concerned about Moshe Gurian. That was a very, very violent hit there. And we're also concerned about Kenny Myatt. I have a feeling there might be a couple of sub positions up there and two really good cars. Could that have been Kenny Myatt's career right there? We know he's retiring at the end of the year. Could Myatt be done? Is the big question. Could that have been the last time we see Kenny Myatt out on the track? Questions that will be answered in due time. Travis Scott was, of course, the car also involved in that. Lucas Hoffman was involved in the first incident with Roman Rahal, Zayden Davidson, Sean Perkins, Jake Baskinger, Nick Pericles, and William Brock all went out in the first incident. Let's go down to your points. After the round of the Indianapolis 250, Noah Hart is still your point leader with Dornan Bouchard second, Chris Dodd third, Trek Tauger fourth, Grayson Acevedo fifth, Sean Angel, Nick Pericles, Kenny Myatt, who I don't think will be racing next week, or Kenny Myatt might be done for good, I'm thinking, because like I said, at the end of the year, Myatt's set to retire, and that was a big hit. John Art's tied with Pericles and Myatt, Curtis, Bisceglia, Baskinger, down the order to Jones, Matty Myatt, Shepard, Padcar, Rahal, Brock, Allen, Freeze, and Monaco. Moss, Roush, Halleck actually increased his Rookie of the Year points lead. Griffin, Gurian, Moshe Gurian, he might be done for a long time as well. In fact, we're not even sure what his medical condition is at this point. They're keeping pretty tight-lipped about him. Will Hoyt, Vincent Allen, Fitzwater, Davidson, Lamas, Shelley, Dover, Shallrod, Vanderpesch, Dormitory, Wallish Moore, Ethan Moore, Caldwell, Cohen, Dunbar, DeMax, Thaber, Johan aren't still on zero, Travis Scott's on zero, Vidam, Durbin, Perkins, and Tyler Thaber all on 0 points. With that being said, I have a feeling we'll be seeing a little bit of a different full-time lineup next week in Lime Rock. Considering I'm pretty sure Gurian and Myatt won't be in Lime Rock. So we'll see you then.